Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure this evening to read to you some words and verse from Rabbi Burns himself. So I've gone and bought myself a book, and to get better, I've also got myself a wee hat.
Done that. Cheers, mate.
'Twas in a place of Scotland Isle that bears the name of All Killed Coil. Once upon a bonny day in June, there were, you know, honestly, I can't help but look at my watch and see that we're in March. And it's every time I turn the computer on, I see Southern Maryland weather and not Scottish weather. And all it says is snow anyway. And I'm looking around the room this evening, and credit to all of you that have made the effort to wear kilts. Obviously some of you didn't make the kilts and got a woman's skirt. Each to their own. So, with that in mind, I'm going to break from tradition tonight, and I'm going to read you a poem by an Englishman. This Englishman was, however, schooled in Scotland, so we are a Scottish type. He then spent most of his life living in Canada, so we've got our colonial side. You guys are still colonists, right? So, why are we reading a poem by an Englishman? Well, because it's written about friendship and the bond between two people and the love of common things. Haggis is a common dish. Those of you that have just eaten it, if you haven't Googled it, Google it now and you'll be surprised. Because it's got some interesting ingredients.
It's easy to swallow.
Yeah. It's also written in a dialect that is probably going to be very difficult for most of you to understand. That has its good points and bad points. The bad point is, I'm going to struggle reading it. The good point is, you're not going to notice when I make a mistake. So about this poem. It's written about two privates. It's from a Highland regiment. I saw you speak. It's about two privates, Private McPhee and Private Jock McFun. Now these two privates are serving in the Highland regiment in the front line during the First World War. They were in the trenches and things weren't great. And one day Private McPhee receives a parcel from his mother, and how his spirits were lifted. And the poem's about how the spirits were lifted and the friendship and the bonds create afterwards. So without further ado, please relax, sit back, while I give you the Haggis of Private McPhee. Have you heard from my mother just posted to you? Ah, it's fair makes me game sick, said Private McPhee. And what did she say to you, said Private McFun, as he cocked his rifle and blazed at the hunt. Oh, a Haggis, said Private McPhee. The broad... Have you never seen a haggis? And so late in the morning when some men return to see haggis and whiskey.
Cheers, the
And the brother giver. We might find a dram and we'll call in the rest of the lads. Oh, we'll have a Burns night for the best. Ready up and down, snapped Sergeant McCall. I want you two men for a listening patrol. Private McPhee looked at Private McFun. I'm fearing old chap, we're confounded with him. And Private McFun looked at Private McPhee. I'm thinking, old boy, it's off with a speed. But at school their crew, we Willie McNair, just give me your bra haggis for me, the brother. And as for a dram, all six the rooms, we may find a drop in just a hobby. Sing in last and think to the night in the black. The highest waiting when you get back. Why, it was a waste one day with his lamb. and death, and the deed were rotting on every hand. The rockets like corpse candles hunted the sky. The winds of destruction went shuddering by. They were scalping her bullets and sculling her shells, and bringing her bombs of 1,000 dead fields. But Curry and Dillon, in a Jack Johnson hole, flashed the 12 men of the listing patrol. Oh, for sweeter than honey, and bright as a gem, was a thought of the Haggis that was waiting for them. But alas, in our moments of sunniest cheer, calamities often most cruelly near, and while the twa cracked at the feast they were here, the enemy below was howking a mine. And while the twa cracked at the feast they were here, the fuse it was burned, and burned away. Then some, like a roar of thunder and doom, a hail heap of flame, and a wish of a tomb. "Ah, Jock, are you hunted?" said Private McPhee. "I joined with God, I'm fearing I'm done. It's my leg, I'm thinking it's half at the knee. I think you best come and leave me," said Private McPhee. "Oh, leave you I wouldn't," said Private McPhee. "And leave you I couldn't, but I thought I might run. It's nae far I come, it's nae muckle I see. I'm blinded, that's what's the matter with me." Private McPhee started shaking his feet. "If we bide here for long, we'll be biding to peace. And yet, Geordie lad, I can gan well content. I've just tasted that Haggis my mother had sent." "Oh, that's droll," said McPhee. "You speak at my mind. Oh, I care, it's a terrible thing to be blind. But it's no that in Butter's Mullow. It's missing braw muckle Haggis you've got." For a while they were silent, then up spoke again Private McPhee, though he wished with him. "And why should we miss it, between you and me? We've legs to run and we've eyes to see. If you lend me a shout, I'll lend you my sight, and then we beat behind Haggis tonight." Oh, the sky was due like a dripping a wee, when Private McPhee gripped Private McPhee. And the grey was flishing and crashing the ground, when Private McPhee guided Private McPhee. "Keep clear them corpses, they may be no dead. Hold on, there's a muckle crater ahead. The coop, there's a sack, we hear a coop. A star shell, for God's sake, down on your feet. Bear up to your right, and you're just in fine, before the night's finished, on Haggis will die." There was death and destruction on every hand. There was havoc and horror on neighbouring land. The shells they could do with a clump and a glare, and the aimlessly bullets would sting in the air. Yet on they went staggering, Curry and Doom, with a stutter cook, a machine gun room, and the legs of McPhee were sturdy and smooth, and McPhee's back. On, my brave lads, we're nae far for a go. I can hear the braw swearing of Sergeant McCall. And Private McPhee, we are stabbing a curse, fell the length of the gun. And Private McPhee shouted down in his ear, "Just think of the Haggis, I can smell it from here. It's gushing with juices, it's embalming in the air, and it's steaming for us, and we're just that one there." Private McPhee answered, "Damn it, old chap, for the sake of that Haggis, I'll gang till I'll drop." On to his feet with a heave of strain, and onward he staggered in passion and pain. The flare and glare of fury increased, and you think they'd just taken hell on the leash. And on they go reeling in pitiful flight, and somebody's shouting away on the house. If somebody's running, and know they can hear, a sound like a prayer, a sound like a cheer. And swift through the crash and the flash of the din, off it's the lads of the Highlands, they're bringing them in. They race their wounded, but it's no droll, how they raise about Haggis, said Sergeant McCall. When he went along, comes wee Willie McNair, but he wondered why his greeting was so severe. And he said, "I'm just wondering true to the port, and there it lay steaming savoury horse, and then I just to the flash of his skull, and he dropped on the Haggis and snaked it. When over the lads were first second back, Benson the Ore was fast inside. And up from the trenches like lions they leapt, and on to the A4 like a torrent they swept. Over the enemy, thrusting before, on to the enemy with a rush to the roar. And wild and reaching their battle cry out, and down on the booties like tigers they cried. And there was the man, with the destiny be, but for the thoughts of the Haggis, of Private McPhee. Private McPhee.